So here's another model as far as talking about what's in the box. Um, this one is rare, but I actually bought it brand new. And when I first heard about it, I think the only place at that time you could get it was Monsters in Motion. I think they're in California. And I I saw the kit, and I always liked the movie. I still do, and immediately I saw it on their website. I ordered it, and at that time, it was expensive even at that time. But I did a quick look. I couldn't find anybody else that even carried it or even heard of it. So I was glad I ordered it because within a few days they were gone, and they were unable to get more. So I'm very, very, very lucky. But it's a pretty big box. So I always like to measure boxes because I know on camera it's hard to tell. So it's like 12 inches long that way. And we're looking at about 9 inches that way. It's a deep box. So that's 5 inches. It's a 1/24 scale. It's made by a company called Wave, which is, I believe, is a Japanese company, although it says made in China, so I'm not really sure. I thought it was a Japanese company, but I'd have to, I don't, as far as I know, I'm not sure if they have a website or not. So, it'd be a little hard to get any information. And this model, it's really hard to sometimes find anything about the model kit. The car is easy. I actually have the DVD, and at the end of the DVD, they have a whole section on that DVD that tells you how they built the car. If I remember right, it was some kind of Rover chassis that they used to build it. I don't think they built more than one, but it's a very unique car, very cool. It has two axles in the front, similar to the car in the Thunderbirds. And it's just they never showed the engine in the movie, but I could imagine, since this movie, I don't know if I'm sure most people have seen it. It's more or less like a steampunk movie in a bit. So and the car reflects that, but it's a Captain Nemo car, so it reflects his heritage and everything on it. And it's just different. Let's see her on the other side here. So here it shows more of, it's funny because in the movie he references it as an automobile, and then later on in the movie somebody calls the vehicle a car, which I thought was funny because car is short for carriage, but I don't know why they would call it two names like that. I mean, we would in modern times, but nobody had ever seen a vehicle like this before, so it just seemed odd that they would have two names for it. But this movie was when the movie was made, it was made overseas somewhere in Europe. I'd have to look up the whole story, and it's all on the DVD. But it was a wonder the movie was ever made because they had all kinds of natural disasters, including some kind of big flood that flooded out all the studios, and everything was under 4 or 6 feet of water, and there were all kinds of delays even getting the movie made, but somehow they found a way to get it done. And I'm glad they did because I really like the movie. So let's take a look at the model kit and see what you're getting in the box. This is obviously a curbside, but I always thought if this car had an engine and I was going to put an engine in it in the model, I would use a Lincoln straight 6 or a V12 or something like that. I'd say Lincoln because, a little older looking engine, or you'd have to fabricate an engine out of it, just make it out of your own design. Now with 3D printing, you can do that, but back when I bought this kit, let's see when this kit came out, because it's been a while. And it's funny that I haven't built it yet because I'm going to wait until I retire because I do still work. I'm getting close to retirement, and technically I'm old enough to retire now, but I'm going to work for a few more years, but when I retire and I don't have to worry about getting up at a certain time. I don't have to worry about going somewhere every day or whatever, things like that. Then I'm going to sit down and really pay attention to this model and build it the way I want to. That's kind of odd. I don't see. I'll have to look on the directions. Maybe on the directions it'll say, but I do not see a year on this box, except that it's 1/24 scale, but the rest of it's written in either Chinese or Japanese. So let's take a look at what's inside. And this is the directions. It's not often you see directions that are got a color photo and they're printed in black. So very fancy directions. It's a very basic kit. I mean, they just tried to detail the look from the outside. But I'm sure they got all that correct. And these are the same pictures as on the box, but very nice photos of what it would look like. So, in the interior, from what I remember from the movie, looks correct. Let's see if there's a year on here. See, it says available only in Japan. So I obviously I know that Monsters in Motion imported it, and I'm sure that they probably imported it by airplane, jet plane, cargo, however you want to say it, because they just popped up on their site, and like I say, they were gone in a few days, and that was it. Yeah, I don't see a date on this either. Huh. So, I want to say 1990s, but I think it was later than that. I think it would have been later than 93, so. So here's one of the semi-chrome parts. They have a patina already on them, even though you would probably use some a wash to do it. You may not even have to do that unless you stripped them and then painted them or chromed them yourself and then did a wash over that. But it has not a gold patina, but it's maybe a slight, just a dark patina, not really chrome. So I like the way the tag on there already says Nemo's car already on it. But she called it an automobile, not a car, so very interesting. Here's the interior parts. Those are molded in tan. Nice detail on the door panels. Remember, this was a custom car, so I mean, they didn't have it to match anything that was existing, but they had to try to stay with the theme of the so-called steampunk era, so everything had a certain design element to it. And I mean, the bench seat literally looks like a parlor couch or something from a house. So here's the body. Ooh, that's a big boy. Let's see what we got there. This thing almost looks like a bus. This car is around almost like 10 3/4 inches long, almost 11 inches. So, and at the widest point there up front, you're looking at about 3.5. You can see that there's plenty of room in there to put just about any engine you want. So, but in my mind, the reason the car would be like this is, first of all, it has 2 axles in the front, and those 2 steer on the real car. But that's just begging to have a V12 or a straight 8 or 8 straight 12 or some kind of weird, unusual engine, even if you crafted it yourself or took it out of some other vehicle. But I like how they got a lot of location holes in it. I haven't looked at this kit in the box in years, but it's definitely a big body. Here's some more parts from inside. So you have interior tub, the fenders, some other unusual parts. 6 tires, of course. I'm not sure if they might be rubber because they're kind of soft. So there's no name or nothing like that, of course, back then. And at that time of history, there wouldn't be any. There's the window, very unique. I believe this car had a hardtop. Because some scenes, when you first see the car, the hardtop is on it because it's raining. And then later on in a movie, the hardtop is removed so you can see, of course, all the actors in it. You know, they always like convertibles in movies and TV shows because they want you to see the actors. It's just easier to film that way. Man, look at the size of that chassis, huh? That's huge. So there's our hardtop. That's interesting. The wheels are plastic. So, I wonder what those are. I wonder why they did that. I mean, you're getting, well, there are no rims, right? No. Here's the rims. That looks like the rim that would go with the tire. Well, maybe this is the back side. I'll have to look at the directions on that. But here's more of the darkened chrome that you get. Lots of elaborate engraving on that. Just amazing that they took the time to engrave all that on there. That's a lot of work. It's a killer grill. These have a patina on them as well. I say that because I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It's going to be hard to notice that on a computer, on a video, but it does have a dark patina to it. So I don't know about the wheel situation, but unless those go on and then somehow the rubber goes on there, I don't know how. We have very small decals, probably for the dash. 3 axles, of course. So the front wheels, I don't think are going to turn on this model. Not like the real car. I think we have one more. We got 2 chrome trees. And we have the interior. So let's check the instructions again. So it does look like the tire, I guess it does fit over the wheel. This does fit over the wheel here. And then the hubcap goes on, which has a patina on it, goes on the outside. This right here, I believe, is the air filter on the side. So they probably ran, unless that's the exhaust. But I mean, the car has a real raspy sound to it. I mean, I don't know much about Rovers or Rover engines, but I don't know if they put a cam in it to make it that way, or they just did it with exhaust, or maybe they added a sound effects in a movie. But when on the DVD, when they build a vehicle and they show you how they did it, I think it was pretty raspy, just before they even put the body on it, because they had to build a real chassis where the wheels would turn and of course everything would operate. So that's what we got there. Again, this way, it's going to be rare you're ever going to see this kit anywhere. But at least this way, if you do, and you think about getting one, you know what you're getting in the box. And if you do find one, it's pretty cool. I think you'll enjoy it. So that's it for this video. And I guess I will see you at the next one. I appreciate all likes. I appreciate all the subscriptions. Thank you very much. And I appreciate all your comments. They help me a lot. Any comments that you have, one way or another, are very helpful to me. So we'll catch you at the next one. Later.